Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. So we have an article here regarding T-Mobile. The link will be down below for you in the description if you would like to check it out on your own. What we're doing here is we're following up with a story that we talked about a week ago. This is basically an update regarding that situation. We're taking it a step further. We're hearing comments now from T-Mobile's partner Arc Telecom, who is finally speaking out and addressing the accusations of shady sales techniques that apparently employees have been on record through Reddit and a number of news articles to talk about. Now, apparently, most of this is going on through third-party partner stores, not necessarily T-Mobile's own home stores, although we've heard a lot of negative stuff about it as well. So, to be fair, some of these stories could be related to T-Mobile's actual stores, and most of it is through third-party, as far as we know. Now, what happened here is it looks like there was recently a report regarding third-party stores associated with T-Mobile practicing fishy sales tactics that has received quite the backlash, especially with repackaged return phones by customers sold as new by the retailers. Arc Telecom was part of the controversy, and T-Mobile's partner has now responded to these accusations through an email. So as shared by the Mobile Report, the T-Mobile partner company sent an email to an employee regarding the shady sales claims and presented its side of the story. Arc Telecom acknowledged that there was a discrepancy between some of the receipts and the customer's in-store transaction experience. To combat this issue, it is recommended that some ethical measures to ensure all accounts match up, such as transparency in all charges incurred when customers buy or sign up for a plan. Only include extra products if promotions specify the inclusion of them. Clearly explain features and the costs when customers upgrade to avoid unexpected charges. So they're saying, though, the T-Mobile partner, of course, did not admit any issue was going on with the current sales tactics. So they're saying, if anything, the company suggested that employees continue with their proper sales practices and sent mixed messages regarding their stance. They further ask employees to report any sales practices that appear shady to the HR department. All right, so the GroupMe Logs, which are used, that's a service by Microsoft that the company was using to communicate, to employees on their platform, saying are now said to be deleted. Almost the ongoing backlash, and that it is not the only alarming management practice. So they're saying that we might see more of these issues persist as more of these notifications pop up. So it looks like they're trying to hide it, cover it up, basically, to be clear. If you guys didn't understand what I was trying to tell you, it looks like, by them deleting these messages, they're trying to sweep this under the rug. They're trying to get rid of it. They don't want this out in the public eye here. Now, third-party store or not, T-Mobile does have to take some responsibility for this. They need to make sure that whoever they are doing business with upholds to T-Mobile's policies and procedures, because whether or not T-Mobile actually is behind this and or backing the idea of this bad practice, it's a bad rap for them. It's going to tarnish their name and their brand, and many people are not going to do enough research to find out whether or not it was an actual T-Mobile home-owned store or some third-party vendor that's just reselling using T-Mobile's brand. There is a difference, right? Because they're managed differently. How that works is third-party vendors use T-Mobile's plans, use their brand, get their phones, but they're the ones that are responsible for the customer service. They're the ones that are creating their own policies and procedures because it's their own private LLC or corporation, whichever it is. So they're the ones that are actually liable for what happens, but at the end of the day, T-Mobile's name will be dragged through the mud as a result of the bad press that these stores are bringing because of their lack of performance in customer service or their sincerity to understanding how things are supposed to work in the world of business when transacting with customers. We've heard a bunch of stories from employees and customers. Customers talking about how they go into these stores that, are third-party vendors, and even some official T-Mobile stores. Some of you guys have commented and said that you've worked with T-Mobile or work for a T-Mobile store directly, and you've noticed these practices as well. What happens is customers go into these stores, they're in there to buy a phone, they're being pushed like crazy to buy other things, phone cases, cell phone accessories that they don't want, and they're apparently being denied to buy a phone or a plan if they do not buy such petty little things like a case or, a phone charger or whatever it is that, these sales reps are trying to push on you to make their quota, to make additional money. So imagine being a customer who just wants to go in, get a plan, get a phone, and get on with your day. Let's be real. How many people buy accessories from retail wireless stores? That's what Amazon is for. That's how it's been for 10 plus years now. Let's be real. Let's get with it. This is how it's been. Nobody's paying $50 for a case when they can get one for 10 that's probably better on Amazon. There's more colors, there's more variety, so much more to choose from, right, than the 10 cases that they probably have in stock on the store, right? How many options do they have? Nowhere near compared what you can get online through many different sources, not just Amazon. That's just one of them. So, so a lot of bad press, a lot of negative attention coming towards T-Mobile because of these third-party vendors. So that's why I'm saying T-Mobile really needs to tighten it up and be more strict with their reselling policy, because it's going to tarnish their name. It's going to make them look bad. And customers are complaining that they're being harassed, and T-Mobile's name is all over the headline. Their name is all over the headline, and third-party vendors are, most of the time, are not going to fess up and admit that they're doing anything wrong. They'll say they'll look into it, and they will. But again, T-Mobile has to hold these stores accountable and either charge them fines and or be way more restrictive with how things work, and or basically tighten the rope and not give them so much leeway and flexibility to to operate so much independently if they're going to use the T-Mobile brand. And that might mean that they may not get as much business from third-party vendors. But if you're upsetting all these customers, at the end of the day, T-Mobile is still going to look guilty, and in some ways they're going to be somewhat held accountable for this. It's a bad rap. I don't know. To me, that's a bad rap. I think they can do better. I think that they have the authority and the leadway to kind of lock it down, keep it under wrap, keep it under control, make sure that these stores are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Maybe have someone from T-Mobile, a field rep, come into these stores and, make sure that things are going smooth. That can be part of the process. Because at the end of the day, T-Mobile is the one that's is gonna hear about it. Unfortunately, they really are. It's their name that's being dragged through the mud. A lot of times when we hear about these poor sales tactics, it's management from these stores, especially if they're independently owned. You have managers that don't care about the employees. They want to meet sales goals. Maybe in some ways they get some kind of kickback from T-Mobile if they can push more sales. Some of you have said you've seen this happen. Now, I know that happens from an actual T-Mobile home-based store. I know that T-Mobile does encourage employees to do more. That's what I'm hearing. I've never worked for T-Mobile. I've been to a couple of T-Mobile stores. I got to be honest. It's been a long time since I've seen any of them be pushy. That's for sure. Last time I was in one, they didn't even care if I was there. Went into a Metro store. They didn't care I was there. So I'm not really seeing the pushiness, the aggressiveness. But again, that's, each location is different. It depends on, the amount of traffic they get, whether or not the sales rep really gives a crap about who you are. They might just be rude off the bat and may not even care whether they, get a sale or not. Yeah, some people are just really bad at business and they go under because of that. They're so negative and they just don't care at all that they're failing at their own business and they don't even care. It happens. But those are different case scenarios, right? It's not always going to be the same end result, and it's not always going to be the same approach every time you go into a store. You just don't know. But either way, that's my take on this. But just imagine being rejected, a phone plan or a phone because you won't buy additional things. That almost seems surreal, but apparently it's not. Apparently this is really happening. This isn't some kind of joke for publicity. employees aren't just lying. Like they truly say that this is what's going on, that this is the type of things that are going on. And then imagine paying $1,000 for a new phone, what you think is a new phone, but it's probably been used for like 6 months. Imagine that. Imagine the battery life on that phone, and not everyone's testing those phones. So you don't know. With an iPhone, there's ways to really kind of measure the battery, right? You can see there's settings there. It tells you the average battery life. That's one cool thing about iOS. Android, you can kind of do that too, but it's not as truthful. It's not as honest. So you could be getting ripped off. That's why, you always want to try to make sure that that phone is brand new, sealed, but not everybody knows what they're getting into, right? Not if these stores are being shady and they have it repackaged perfectly. It's almost hard to tell, what you're really getting. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.